Yeah, good day to you all my viewers. In this video, I'm going to give you more prospective questions as regarding WAEC 2023 mathematics paper. Please kindly sit back and watch this video from the beginning to the end. Share this video with all students that are around you that are preparing for their 2023 WAEC. Share with them so that they too can benefit from it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload any video on this channel like this, majorly like this, you're going to have access to it easily. You're going to be among the first set of people to have it. Thank you so much. Let's have question number one.
Now let's take question number one. Let's take question number one as it is stated on the board. Out of 120 customers in the shop, 45 bought both bags and shoes. If all the customers bought either bags or shoes, and 11 more customers bought shoes than bags. Question number one, we are asked to illustrate this information in a diagram. Now let's start with that number 1A, solution. Okay, to illustrate this, we need to know the factors that we are dealing with here. We are dealing with two different factors here. Of course, those that bought bags and those that bought shoes. And as we go on dealing with them, those two different factors will generate another factor which will be referred to as third factors. Of course, that will be those that bought bags and shoes. Okay, those that bought both bags and shoes. And that tells us that if we are dealing with two different factors, so we'll be dealing with a Venn diagram that has just two circles. Okay, so let's put down a Venn diagram. From the question that the numbers of universal sets, which is denoted as n of u, is equals to 120. If not of that, then let's denote this circle. Let's label this circle. Let this be those that bought bags, which will be represented by capital letter B, and those that bought shoes, let them be represented by capital letter S. Okay. Now, from the question, we are told that 45 bought both bags and shoes. Look at the compartment of both bag and shoes. This is the compartment where bags intersect shoe or shoe intersect bags. Okay. So this compartment contains 45 people. That is those that bought both bags and shoes. Okay. Going further, we are told that if all the customers bought either bags or shoes, okay, either bags or shoes, and 11 more customers bought shoes than bags. Now, the region of bags only is this region. And for us to get bags only, don't forget that these 45 people bought both bags and shoes. Now, if bag only is this region, that does mean, and this whole region, this whole circle is represented by B. We are looking for bag only. That will be B minus, bag only will be B minus 45. Okay, B minus 45. Okay, now what of shoe only? Don't forget, with the explanation given here, we are told that if all the customers bought either bags or shoes, and 11 more customers bought shoes than bags. That means that the numbers of people that bought shoes only will be the numbers of bags, people that bought bags, plus 11. Because we are told that 11 more customers bought shoes than bags. So if you get the numbers of people that bought bags, remove it from, add it to 11 people. That will give you the numbers of people that bought shoe. Of course, minus 45 will give you the numbers of people that bought shoes only. Please take note, and this is what this region represents. We can go ahead and take question number B. Let's go ahead and take question number 1B. We are asked to find the numbers of customers who bought shoes. Okay. Now, for us to get this now, we will have to find the value of B. We have to find the value of B. And to do that, don't forget that the numbers of elements in the universal set is equals to 120. And if you have these numbers of elements here, this number of elements here, these numbers of elements here, if you bring it together, it will give you 120. So let's add it together and equate it to 120. Therefore, 120 is equals to 120 people is equals to the numbers of people that bought shoes only, which is B minus 45, plus the numbers of people that bought both shoes and um bags, that would be 45. Okay, plus the numbers of people that bought shoes only, which is B plus 11 minus 45. And if you do your calculation very well, this will imply that 120 is equals to this. We cancel this, then you have 2b. Of course, you have 2b, then you have 11 minus 45, which will give you minus 34. And if you make 2b the subject of formula, okay, if you rearrange, you'll be having 2b is equals to 120 plus 34. Okay? So therefore, b will be equals to 120 plus 34 will give you 154, which is when you and which when you divide both side by 2, it will be giving you 120, 154 all over 2. Okay? And that is equals to that's equals to let me manage the space. Let me manage the space. Okay, that will be equals to, yeah, that will be equal to b will be equals to 154 all over 2, which will give you twins 15. That will be 7. Like that one twin 14. That is 7. Okay, so that tells you that 77 people bought bags. Okay, but we are asked to find the numbers of people who bought shoes. If the whole thing is 120, the whole people in the shop is 120, okay, and 77, we are told that 70, we have determined now that 77 people out of 120 bought shoes. So the numbers of people that bought that, it will imply that the numbers of customers that bought bags, sorry, that bought shoes will be equals to 120 minus 77. If you do your calculation very well, 120 minus 77, you have 3 there. Then you have 11 minus 7, that is 3. Okay? That will be equal to 33 people, 3 customers. So that answers question number 1A. Take notes. Now let's go to question number 1B. Oh, sorry, that answers question number 1B rather. This is 1A. This is solution for 1B. 1B. Then let's go to question number 1C. Okay? We ask to calculate the probability the probability that a customer selected at a random bought bags. Now, to get this, the probability that the customer selected at a random bought bags is the numbers of, that is probability of bag. Just take it as probability of bag. That is, I'm saying, I mean, by this notation, I mean probability of the customer selected at the random bought bag. So probability of B will be equals to the numbers of B in the universal set. Wow, how many B do we have in the universal set? From our calculation, B is equal to what? 77. Okay, 77. How over the numbers of elements in the universal set, which is 120. So final answer. Now let's take question number 2A. A manufacturing company requires 3 hours of direct labor to process every 87 naira worth raw materials. If the company uses 30,450 naira worth of raw materials, what amount should it budget for direct labor at 18 naira 25 kobo per hour? Okay. From the information we have in the question, we have solution. We are told that 3 hours of direct labor, that is 3 hours of, let me denote it by DL now, will give us uh 87 naira 87 naira 87 naira worth raw material processed. 87 naira raw material processed. Okay, can put it down in full. So now let's take what a unit hour can give us. So it does mean that 1 hour will give us 1 hour direct labor will be equal to 87 naira 87 naira all over 3. That will give you what? 3 in 3 in 8, that's 2. Remember what? 2. 3 in 27, that is 9. Okay? 87 naira, sorry, 1 hour direct labor will give you 29 naira raw material processed. Of course, this 29 naira, don't forget the unit of hours. I mean, the unit of this is hour, is in hours. Okay, this is in what? Naira, so that you have per hours. Okay. Now, reading further, we are told that if the company uses 30,450 naira worth of raw materials, what amount should it budget for direct labor? Now, for us to go further to this, to answer this, we must also get something from this. And what do we get from this? We already know what raw material can process within in 1 hour, which is 29 naira worth raw material. Okay, it just means that for us to know the time it will take for this raw material, this what raw material to be processed. So we will have to do some calculation. So time taken for, it implies that time taken for 30,450 naira raw what raw material to be processed. To be processed. You can write it in full. Please write it in full, just to get your full mark. Okay. Will be equal to, that will be equal to the raw material process in a unit hour, which is 29. Okay, so you have to divide this by 29 now. It will be equal to 30,000 naira 450. Okay, all over 29 naira per hour. Okay, and if you do your calculation, let's do calculation. Let's calculate. Okay, we have, and that is equals to 1050. Okay, that's equals to 1050 hours. So 1050 hours is the time that it will take the same company to process 30,450 watts raw material. All right. Now the question now is that if this is the raw material that they process, okay, what amount should it budget for direct labor at 18 naira 25 kobo per hour? So this is the time it will take them to process this. Okay, if this is the time it will take them to process this, and 1 hour, if they just tell us now that 1 hour will cost them this direct labor. Okay, they are paying direct labor for 1 hour. They are paying 18 naira 25 kobo for 1 hour. So it just means that then we have to budget So, right, budget, it implies that budget for direct labor at 18 naira 25 kobo per hour will be equal to 150, sorry, 1050 hour. That if you take them, multiply by what it will take them for an hour, which is 18,000, sorry, which is 18 naira 25 kobo. And if you do your calculation, that will be equal to 19,162.5 naira. Okay, 19,162 naira 5 kobo. Okay, that's the amount it will cost them to process this raw material, this what raw material. All right, that's the final answer. Now let's look at question number 2b. It takes 8 students to touch of an hour to fill 12 tanks of water. How many tanks of water will 4 students fill in 1/3 of an hour at the same rate? In other words, at the same speed. Okay? Yeah. By interpretation, by interpretation, 8 students multiply by 2 touch. 2 touch is 2/3 of an hour. Okay? Give us what? 12 tanks of water. Okay? Now, call this equation 1. Also, we are asked that how many tanks of water, let the numbers of tanks of water that will be filled by 4 students now in 1/3 of an hour equals to x. So we have x tanks, which we are going to look for. X is equals to 4, which we have measured it against 4 students. Okay, 1/3 of an hour multiplied by 1/3. 1/3 means 1/3 of an hour. So call this equation 2. If you simplify equation 1, it implies that 16 all over 3 is equal to 12. Just leave times now. Okay. Also, if you simplify equation 2, it implies that 4 all over 3 is equal to x. Okay. And taking the ratio means that it just means that 16 all over 3 ratio 4 all over 3 is equals to 12 ratio x. Okay. And what does this ratio mean? It just means that 16 all over 3 divided by 4 all over 3 is equals to 12 divided by x. And if you change this sign, division sign, that to multiplication sign, that will be implying that 16 all over 3 multiplied by 3 all over 4 is equals to 12 all over x. Okay, and 3 we cancel out 3. You have 4 here, 1, 4 here, 4. Okay, so therefore you have 4 equals to 4 over 1 equals to 12 all over x. if you do cross multiplication, it does mean that x is equals to 4x. Let's do it step by step. 4x is equals to 12. And if you multiply both sides by 4, that does mean that x is equals to 12 all over 4, which will give you 3. So you have x to be equal to 3, meaning that first student, does mean that first student in 1 over 3 hours, 1 over 3 hours, which would have filled, they would fill 3 tons of water.